I recently had the opportunity to work with Rugged Cross Outfitters located in Winston, New Mexico, in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. Just had a tremendous time during this trip, and when you enter the compound, the first thing you'll notice is 23 of the finest hunting dogs I know that I have ever seen. Now, they can make a racket when a stranger drives up, or most any time for that matter. But I was working with one of the finest families, David and Annika Welty, and of course they have 4 fine boys. And the first morning out on the trail, it was around 20 degrees, and Annika went with us. She was charged with the responsibility of taking care of me in the mountains and to make sure I was where I needed to be, while David took care of the dogs and made the decisions as far as the hunt was concerned. Now, when we started out, I never realized how beautiful this place was, and when you get up on a hill and start looking out, you will see some of the most beautiful scenery that I know that I have ever seen. I've been in a large part of the United States photographing, but David's been doing this for about 13 years, or since he was 13 years of age, I should say, and he's well knowledgeable of all these mountains. And I asked him how many of them he had climbed, and he said, oh, most all of them on horseback. And really a lot of it could only be climbed on horseback. But just one scene after another as we traverse the mountains here in New Mexico, and then the dogs, they hit a trail. Now, it was a cold trail. David estimated that the line had been there 2 or 3 days before, but it was exciting to know we were where there were some lines. Some of these trips, people wonder if I really got up here. So I'm here. And it's been a great morning of just horseback riding and coming up into the mountains. And we've already found one track of one mountain lion, at least evidence that he's been there. And so we're excited. Right now we're trying to get the dogs back. We traveled around 11 miles that first day, and were not successful in locating a lion, but we had a great time. It was a great introduction to this trip. We stopped in a ravine and had some burritos on the fire and just had a great time, fellowship together. And there was a lot of brush where we were going, and the hills were just steeper than they were the day before. And I put me on some my camouflage snake-proof chaps that I use in Louisiana against the snakes, and it really served me well. Now, it wasn't long that the dogs treated a lion that morning, and boy, were they having a time. Now, it was a male lion, and he was up pretty high in this tree, and I knew I was going to have difficulty getting a really sharp, clear photograph at this distance, and David said we were going to have to irritate that lion a little bit to make him come down and perhaps relocate, and you're going to see that happen in just a moment. But let me show you the photographs that I was able to get at this location. Now, this lion's fixing to come down. Where'd he go? Oh, I see him.
Up there. He's up there on that mountain. See him up on that mountain?
Yeah, I see him.
There he goes.
The tree's got him now.
Oh, God, you did.
Well, the lion did locate in another tree that made it really, really possible to take some great photographs. He wasn't any more than 10 or 12 feet off the ground, and the dogs had him pretty well secure up in this tree. And I want you to notice something. This dog that's the lead dog that's almost up to the nose of this lion. As a matter of fact, he'll get closer than where he is right now. But he's going to stop and look at you in just a moment, and I want you to observe the look that's on this hound's face. It's like he's saying to you, don't you see that I've accomplished what you sent me here to do? Aren't you pleased with me? There he is. What a beautiful dog. Well, anyway, David moved down a little bit closer to the line, and that let me know that I could get down there as well. And so I moved down to, I guess, 10 or 12 feet from the cat and began to photograph. And that was quite an experience for this southern boy who had never been on any kind of a trip like this before in my life. And I hope you enjoy the photographs that I was able to make right here. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It was one of the greatest adventures I've ever been on in my life. And it was a great challenge. And if you'd like to have one of these adventures and really want a challenge, you need to go on one of these hunts with Rugged Cross Outfitters. Of course, they have mule deer and elk and antelope and other things as well. But a big thank you to David and Annika who made this trip possible. And just one more day in the life of a wildlife photographer.